Hi, everybody. This is Todd Conklin. This is the Pre-Accident Podcast Special Edition. Yes, oh yes, because today's a big day. You have a special invitation, and I thought I'd take a moment and tell you about this just because I don't think people in the United States know much about this. But there's a conference that's going to be held in Amsterdam July 2nd and 3rd of this year, 2015. If you're needing a trip to Amsterdam, and quite honestly, who isn't? I don't know if you've ever been there or not before, but it's a crazy place. If you're needing a trip to Amsterdam, this conference is one you ought to think about, and it's still open. In fact, it's quite affordable. It's super affordable, if you ask me. The reason I'm telling you about it, though, is because this conference features myself and Sidney Decker and Charlie Madison, and the conference is actually run through an organization called the CIP Institute. In fact, the website is cipinstitute.org. And the conference title is How to Deal with Crisis, Complex Interactive Processes as a Determining Factor for Successful Risk and Crisis Management. And this is their big international conference. And maybe the best way to describe this to you is to allow the conference organizer to give you a little description of what CIP does, and then we can come back and talk about it. But for €350 and a flight to Amsterdam, if you've got some time, this might be worth a little bit looking into. It's a great conference, and they certainly have some heavy hitters on the docket. The chance, I think, to hang out with Decker and listen to what he has to say about this notion of risk, crisis, and new view of safety is probably worth the trip alone. You can hear my crap anytime you want to. I'm not that big a deal. But Sidney and I have a great time. And then Charlie Madison is an attorney who specializes in understanding highly reliable organizations and risk and litigation and liability around that risk. Great guys, all of them. I think you'll have a good time. Listen carefully, and I'll let Hugo describe a little bit about what this conference entails.
Maybe I have to give a little bit of background on CIP first. A couple of years ago, we were a bunch of guys sitting in a pub. That's where it all started, saying that we are working in the field of risk and crisis management, risk and crisis communication. That's the field we're working in. And over the last years, I was doing research predominantly in the field of high reliability organizations. And in a pub on a Friday evening, we were nagging to each other saying that there is so much knowledge and so little use of the knowledge, and how can we change this? So that was basically the idea. Second was, we got a question from a client of ours asking if we could support them in operations in France, Poland, Spain, and another exotic country. And we said, well, let's check if we can find friends or colleagues or whatever. So we reached out to a couple of people we knew, and we made new friends in some of these countries. And at the end of the day, so the initial idea was to have a commercial activity and commercial partnerships with some organizations or small organizations. And then we found out that they have wonderful stuff on risk and crisis management, and how they were dealing with their clients, and how they have new ideas and new research or whatever. So at the end of the day, we said, why don't we create a kind of organization where we exchange this knowledge and this information? So this was the first step. So 2013, we met in Ghent in Belgium for the first time. So we were about 25 enthusiastic people from Belgium, Holland, UK, Spain, Portugal, and France. Yeah. And it was a mixture of academics, consultants, people working for governmental bodies, so a weird mixture of different people. And at the end of the day, we said, okay, we are not going to create a new commercial organization, we will create a non-for-profit organization. And the idea is to exchange information, share knowledge, share insights. That's basically the idea. And in the field of risk in crisis, basically. It might be business continuity, might be high reliability, might be whatever, change management, even change that's linked to risks, certain risks in organizations or whatever. So that was the initial start. And then last year, we said, we organized a conference in Brussels, first conference. We invited people. We had a couple of first participants who gave some talks.
So that's just a little clip of the organizer, Hugo Marinessen, who's putting the conference together with the CIP folks. If you get a chance, I really would recommend this one just because I like the feel of this one. It's small and intimate. It's just getting started. It's really sort of a pickup from the high reliability conferences that we had in the United States for the last several years. And the European organizers are doing some really interesting things. A lot of thoughts coming out of there. A lot of thoughts coming from Holland. So if you get a chance, it's certainly something to think about. Now, the connection for that is pretty simple. It's cipinstitute.org. And you'll find everything you need to know about that conference. If you get a chance, it's July 2nd through 3rd, 2015. That's this year in Amsterdam, and they'd love to have you. I got no dog in this fight at all, so if you can't get away. But if you're looking for kind of a little trip, maybe take the fam. It's a good place to take the family. It is over the holiday weekend, but it might be a fun one. So give it a chance. Just a quick special announcement. No problems. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. Do something fun every day. Learn something new all the time. And for goodness sakes, be safe. See you in Amsterdam.